He says, thus, Allah is eternal without a beginning. So I feel like I should say for, without a beginning for his existence. And also, this word existence, I'd capitalize it as the attribute of Allah, his existence. And everything else is originated, yani, came into existence. هو القديم. Everything else is muhdath. Muhdath. Yes, originated. Yani, there's several words in English that we can use here that have this meaning. Originated is one of them, but I feel like that's something even we just started using recently. There's other words too you can use. I feel like most of these words are underused. The one we use most is created. And another expression we use is has a beginning. Okay. Some other words are started and occurred and happened and event. All of these are words for creation. Something that started, something that occurred, something that has a beginning, something originated, an event or an occurrence. And these different words are useful when talking to an atheist or philosopher, as opposed to created. Originated is not a bad word. So Allah is eternal without a beginning for his existence, and everything else is originated.
Sheikh,
Yes,
does muhdath mean originated?
muhdath means made to occur.
Okay, barakallahu feek.
Amin wa fiq. Uh, so the original letters for this word muhdath are ha, dal, tha. Hadatha. Hadatha means it happened. Like the hadath for wudu or ghusl, you have a hadath. That literally means something that happened. Something that happened that broke your wudu. Something that happened that make you obligated to perform a ghusl. So Allah Ta'ala is the muhdith with a kasra. Muhdith. This means event creator. And everything else, yani, or originator if you want. And everything else is muhdath, an event or originated. Uh, uh, why is that good for an atheist? Because if you say created, then he might disagree with you immediately. Because saying created implies creator by virtue of the words. Uh, but if you say an event, then maybe he won't argue with you, even though you're really saying the same thing. Yani, if he wants to argue with you about the word event, that means he wants to argue with you about something actually having a beginning, just itself having a beginning, as opposed to having a creator. He will argue with you about the statement that clearly means has a creator and won't argue with you about the statement that means the thing has a beginning, unless really that's what he wants to argue with you about. That could be his case also, because he might believe that the world has no beginning, or he might deny that our attributes have a beginning. He might deny that. How could he deny that? Because his mind is sick. His mind has been compromised by the falsafa, philosophy. It's sickened his mind. So you would say to him, how could you deny that our attributes have a beginning? We observe our motion come into existence. And when our motion comes into existence, our stillness vanishes. So if the stillness didn't have a beginning, it wouldn't have vanished. The motion has a beginning because we saw that. So you can't deny it. And the stillness, it has a beginning because it vanished. Had it not had a beginning, it would never have vanished. Because whatever has no beginning does not change. Unless you're saying that the stillness doesn't exist. No matter what you are saying is wrong here. Excuse me. So Allah is eternal without a beginning for his existence. And everything else is originated, made to occur, which means everything other than Allah existed after in existence or non-existence. And he is the only creator of all beings. And everything else, i.e., the whole universe, is a creation that has a beginning. Yeah. وهو الخالق. He is the creator. And everything else is makhluk. Everything else is a creation or created. Everything else is created. Okay. The whole universe, with all its generic kinds and individual components, is originated. It's generic kinds like tree, stone, man, etc. Cow, like that, air, light, etc. And it's individual components. Yani, this cup, this computer, like that. This house, individually, one by one, each one of them is created, and all of its generic kinds, trees, men, stones, it's all created. It's all originated. Okay. Now, quick side note here. I don't know if I mentioned for you my aversion to the word universe. Did I mention for you?
I don't think you have.
Okay. So it's not for me super big deal, but slightly a slight deal, which is that I fear that from the word universe, the people understand an endless void of blackness with stars, full of stars, millions of years apart from each other, and does not have up or down. So that's wrong. That's sci-fi. If someone understands from the word universe everything that exists, then that's fine. Universe is fine. But if someone understands from it what I just described to you, then it's not fine. With the
Okay.
meaning of using a word that gives people a wrong impression. I'm not saying the word itself is itself wrong, but the delusion that people take from it is what concerns me. What is the real case of the universe? The real case of the universe is that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala created 7 heavens and 7 earths. Between uh, the lowest heaven and the highest earth, between them is the sun and the moon and the stars and the clouds. That's what we see. I don't know what's between the others. If there's also anything there, whatever's there, I don't know. I'm not saying there's no stars or clouds there. I have no idea. But what we see is where I just told you, above the highest earth, which is the first earth, and below the lowest sky. And above the 7th earth, disconnected from it, is paradise. And below the 7th earth, disconnected from it, is hell. And below hell, there's a ground. It's called al-farsh, means the ground. Yeah, that's the lowest ground. And above paradise, disconnected from it, is the arsh. So there's the arsh above and the farsh below. There's nothing lower than the farsh. That's what we learned. As for the arsh, there's a book over it, according to the hadith of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. A book, it's written in that book, Inna rahmati sabaqat ghadabi. Indeed, my mercy supersedes or precedes or is more than my wrath. And some scholars said, Allahul Mahfuz is over the Arsh too. And furthermore, this earth is stationary. And all of them are. And all of the heavens, all the skies are. When I say there's 7 skies, that means they are objects. The sky itself is an object. What we see, the blue that we see when the daytime spreads, is the underside of an enormous object that's very flat, perfectly, has not even a dimple in it, and not even a pimple on it. Level, perfectly level. And there are 7 of those. Yes. And the sun, it is moving in its own orbit. And the moon and the daytime and the nighttime, 4 things have an orbit, according to what's in the Quran. The sun, the moon, the daytime, and the nighttime. Some scholars said sunlight is one thing, daytime something else.
So was that the 4 things that have their own orbit?
Yes.
Okay.
Allah says, وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لِمُسْتَقَرٍّ لَهَا. The sun runs in a pathway that it has, yani its own orbit. ذَلِكَ تَقْدِيرُ الْعَزِيزِ الْعَلِيمِ. That is the destining of Al-Aziz Al-Alim. وَالْقَمَرَ قَدَّرْنَاهُ مَنَازِلَ حَتَّى عَادَ كَالْعُرْجُونِ الْقَدِيمِ. And the moon, we made it go through stages. We destined for it stages. It goes through those stages repetitively, in cycles, until it again returns to being a crescent, turns into a bow, which is a crescent. لا الشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر. The sun will never catch up to the moon. ولا الليل سابق النهار. Nor will the night outrun the day. وكل في فلك يسبحون. Each one of them, those four, each one of those four, the sun, the moon, the day, and the night, are in an orbit, swimming. Each one of them is swimming in its own orbit. And I never said here that they are going around the earth. Some people take away from these words an assumption that means going around the earth. Allah knows how's the orbit of those. I don't know. I just know they have an orbit. The sun, for example, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa ala alihi wasallam said that it goes until it sets in the west, the extent of the west, keeps going westward, 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 until it reaches the end. So then it goes down and it goes under the arsh, goes under the arsh. And it makes sujood there. And then it waits for permission to come back. Then it will be commanded to rise from where it rose. So then it will go and come up again from where it rose. Although from where it rose here means not exactly the same exact spot. Not the exact same spot. No, the sun comes up from a different spot every day and goes down in a different spot, a different degree every day. And that's what it does until one day when it will go under the arsh and prostrate, and then it will be detained. Then the people will be waiting for the sun to rise. They will be surprised that the sun has not risen, which is a big deal because it always rises. You know, it was never a day until now that the sun didn't rise. Subhanallah. So then the sun will say, "Oh my Lord, I am tardy." And then the sun will be told, "Rise from where you set." It will be commanded. And then it will rise from where it's set. That's one of the major signs of Judgment Day. That will be after Prophet Isa, after the Dajjal, after Prophet Isa, and after the Ya'juj wa Ma'juj, the Gog and Magog people come out. So this is what we know about the universe from the Quran and the Sunnah. So if we say universe, and this is what a person understands, no problem. Or he doesn't know, also no problem. He just doesn't know. But the other way, that's wrong because that's a delusion. So that's a problem. This makes it out to be that, for one thing, the universe has no end. That's impossible. The universe has edges, actually. There's nothing beyond it. Also, according to that wrong way, there's no up or down. In reality, according to them. Those people who believe like that, they say, we only say up and down based on the center of the earth. But once you get outside the earth, there is no up and down. That's all wrong. And those are the same ones who are saying the earth is spinning and rotating and revolving. Spinning, as they say in Arabic, spinning around itself and spinning around the sun at the same time. Rotation and revolution. So all of that is wrong. Subhanallah wa bihamdi. And the earth is bigger than the sun, much bigger. And the sun is not as far away as they say, and nor are the stars. Because according to them, the sun is 90 million miles away, according to them, or whatever they say. Whatever they are claiming the distance to mean is not true. It's closer. So I don't know how far is whatever is Yani. I don't know how much is 90 million miles or billion or whatever they say. Uh, and what else also? There's something else. There's something else. Just slipped me. Oh, maybe it'll come back to me, inshallah. طيب.
Sure.
So, alternatively, I like to say the word world, although then I'm afraid a person understands from the word world just the earth only. So then I wind up explaining all of this stuff, which is beneficial, alhamdulillah. So the whole universe, with all of its generic kinds and individual components, is originated. Ibn Taymiyyah disagreed with the former about the generic kinds, the issue of the generic kinds. And he stated, like the philosophers, yani some philosophers, not all of them, that the generic kinds of the universe are eternal without a beginning. I like this term, generic kind, but needs explanation. A person's not going to understand what it means. Consequently, the Muslims deemed him a kafir. Ibn Taymiyyah, that is. Okay. And also, what's the issue with the philosophy? Falsafa. The falsafa, well, we learned that it is haram. Falsafa is haram. What is it? It is a craft. I like to call it a mental game. It's like a game that some people know how to play. But it's a game that doesn't have very clearly defined rules. But some people, they know how to play this game, which is the way to play the game is to think out of the box, as they say. Thinking out of the box means, Yani, I mean by it, not thinking straightforwardly. Not straightforwardly. Here's the essence of the problem. What does it mean, not thinking straightforwardly? It means to not take things as they appear, rather to to defy what appears and to produce theories. This is falsafa. What does this mean? Defying what appears means, for example, someone would say, your house, you think it's still, don't you? Well, let me tell you why it's moving. And that sun, you think that's going across the sky, don't you? Let me tell you why it's still. Like this. And he would say, you think everything has a color? No, nothing has a color. Let me tell you why. Like this. And so he's defying what is apparent and then offering for you an explanation. This is his theory. Or he assumes or presumes something that has no observation, no way of observation, even. Yeah, in so many cases, it's not even true. So it's just his idea. It has no observation, and he will confirm it by how? By theories, though, not by correct evidence, such as gravity. Oh, I think I know what was trying to remember. The Earth is stationary, and there's no one on the underside of the Earth. There's no one upside down in comparison to the others by standing on Earth. Gravity is an example of such theories. What is it? It is a claim that there is something outside of the body, not the body. It's outside of the body and it pulls the body down. So that's a theory. Yeah, it has no tangible evidence. And this is where people get confused or defensive even. And if you try to argue this, you need to know how. These things, if you know how to argue them, then you can easily defeat any of those people in minutes. It will be somebody who has PhD, like that crippled guy who is in the wheelchair. What they call him? Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking, yeah.
Yeah, this one, one of us, we can silence him in minutes. I'm so positive. Or 2 minutes, 3 minutes. They're going to be offended here and think you are ignorant and say to you, for example, what do you mean there? Or say to me, if I say what I say to me, what do you mean there is no observable evidence for gravity? What do you think is the reason you're not flying off into space? Well, I'll say to him, I'm not flying off into space because my body does not go up. So he said, what do you think it is that keep your body from going up? So I'll say to him, what made you think there is something outside of my body that keeps it from going up? So right there, he might get confused. He won't know what to say. Or I say, what are you talking about? He's frustrated here. Say, Yanni, you're saying to me, there's something. It's not the body. It's not my body. Because according to you, my body could be possibly in a situation where there is no gravity. So the gravity is not the body. It's something else. And according to them, the person gets out of the atmosphere and he gets into space. He becomes weightless. Everything becomes weightless. So if that's true, that means then the ship should be weightless too. That means the passenger should not be heavier or lighter than the vessel. So why doesn't, for example, if he bumps into the wall while he's floating around, according to them, why doesn't set the whole vessel into motion? Or anything? Everything is weightless. That means they all are the same now. So why that vessel is stable and everything else can float around? Nothing that taps into the wall sets the vessel into motion, but if it bumps into anything else, it will go around the other way. It bounces. So according to you, there is something outside of the body. It's not the body, and it pulls the body down. Yeah, this you don't have any proof for it. So he's not going to know what to say here. He might
Mhm.
say, "Oh, what?" Uh, he might say, "What? Uh, you're ignorant. Did you go to school?" I'll say to him, "Yeah, I went to school." They say that gravity is a theory. Don't you know that? Do you know that the official scientific stance of gravity is that it is until today a theory? You didn't know that because your school they they stopped attaching the word theory to it like they used to, so that you won't
Mm.
know.
Mhm.
Same thing for evolution. In fact, I remember personally, Yanni. Okay, when I was like in fourth grade, so I was about 8 years old. That was the year that they stopped calling evolution a theory. I noticed it because they stopped calling it theory. It just was evolution from there only.
Mhm.
In school, I'm talking about as far as school is concerned, teaching us. So
Yeah.
I never forgot that. Subhanallah. So the official stance on gravity is that it's a theory. They're going to teach it to you that it's real. Uh, so you might say, "What's your proof that there is no gravity? What's your proof that there isn't any gravity?" So I could say to him, number one, you're asking me to prove something to give my proof for why there isn't any, and you don't have proof for why there is. That's the first problem here. But okay.
Mhm.
And number two, well, let me ask you a question. If two things fall, like let's say a boulder is falling, an anvil is falling, and also a marble, just a small marble that the little kid plays with. Which one falls faster? He would say they fall at the same speed. So I'll say to him, okay.
Mhm.
Should be that if the gravity is pulling, the lighter one should fall faster. Even if you told me the heavier one falls faster, it should be that the lighter one is falling faster because easier to pull it. You might say, no, don't pull it up though. We're talking about going down. I'm saying you're talking about pulling. According to you, if
Mhm.
it wasn't for the pull, will not go down. Subhanallah wa bihamdi. You might say, gravity doesn't work like that. So I'll say to him, well, uh, don't they say that gravity pulls the body down? And he'll say, yeah. So I'll say to him, can you test pulling something heavier compared to something lighter? And it's the same? Can you replicate that? According to your scientific method, replication is a condition. Can you replicate pulling a boulder and a marble and both of them having the same resistance? You won't be able to. So all right. We might as well stop there. And we'll continue from there. Every creation that came into existence, etc.
Okay, I'll make note of that.
Wallahu alam. Barakallahu feek.